Welcome back to Forgotten Hollywood. So, the reason I haven't been making videos the last few weeks is right after the Oscars, I started feeling really sick. Take from that what you will. But I wasn't able to get recording or editing done during that time. I am feeling better. Thank you. So last night I went to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the second movie in the sequel series. And I actually liked it. I enjoyed myself. It was a fun movie. It had highs and lows, as most movies do. But the thing is, it was not as good as Ghostbusters 84. It was not as good as Ghostbusters Afterlife, in my opinion. However, it was better than Ghostbusters 2. This is showing a natural progression from where the last movie ended. Just so you know, I will be giving spoilers to the last movie, but I will try to avoid spoilers for this one. I will assume that if you're watching this video, you have seen and enjoyed Ghostbusters Afterlife, so that one's fair game. Anything that was in the preview, the official preview for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, is fair game. But beyond that, I will try to avoid spoilers. So with Ghostbusters Afterlife, you had Phoebe, the granddaughter of Egon, who has moved into his farmhouse, and she starts finding his equipment and starts being mentored by his ghost, as he has recently died, in how to stop the coming end of the world disaster. This picks up where the last movie left off, where Phoebe's family has learned how to use the equipment. They are picking up where Egon left off and continuing his legacy. Except they have moved back to New York. They're back in the firehouse, which is possibly fan service, possibly just because that's where Ghostbusters works best, rather than a farmhouse in Oklahoma. The criticism I've heard, one of them, is that there's too many characters. And yes, there are a lot of characters in this movie, but most of them were introduced in previous films. I mean, you have the original surviving Ghostbusters. Obviously, anybody watching a Ghostbusters movie knows who Peter, Ray, and Winston are. Janine is there, and she does suit up, but it makes sense in the context of what was going on at the time in the movie. Then there's, the kids you met in Ghostbusters Afterlife. There's Gary and Callie, and we know who these people are. We were introduced to them before. As far as new characters go, there's 3 of them. The problem is, this is where I get to a negative. The problem is that the new characters don't really get a lot of backstory, don't really get fleshed out a lot. For one of them, I felt it didn't really matter, because he was sort of a side character support, where he was just sort of the one doing things in the background for the most part. So I really didn't care if I didn't know about him. But the other 2 were seemed to be there for more of a convenience sake, to, make the plot happen in ways that weren't always organic. But were they terrible characters? Not really. One was slightly annoying, but decent. And the other one, I really, really wish they had given more backstory to, because she kept opening up like, you're going to learn about her, and then you get nothing. But as I said, overall take, I thought it was pretty decent. It had a lot of fan service. You got the firehouse, you've got Ecto 1, you've got the original Ghostbusters, you've got Walter Peck. And he's now the mayor, because you need someone opposing them in some way that's not a ghost. And personally, I think it actually makes sense that he is in city government, because people who worked in government positions often go on to other government positions. Overall ranking for the Ghostbusters, for me, is top tier, best of the best Ghostbusters, is the 1984 movie. Just under that people might argue with me on this, is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Really liked that movie. I thought it was very well done. I love that Phoebe is really, really smart, really, really intelligent, but still a kid. And still has the emotional maturity of someone her age. And this is true in the sequel, which I would put right below that. Frozen Empire. Again, people might fight me on that, but I really enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed Ghostbusters 2, which comes next. And then there would be a Ghostbusters lunchbox, and then a Ghostbusters t-shirt, a stuffed Slimer, and then after that is the 2016 reboot. That's my ranking. The one thing I do want to say is the Stay Puft Marshmallow baby things have no purpose. They're just there. And they are obviously there as a merchandising opportunity. And they were the same thing in the first movie. They didn't really have a whole lot of purpose other than being there and being annoying. Particularly to one character. And that's basically their purpose in this one, is they just annoy that same character. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man existed in the first movie for a specific reason. That reason was not redone in the new movies, so there is absolutely no reason why these little tiny Stay Puft Marshmallow Men should be running around. Overall, I thought that the plot was mostly organic in the way that it played out. In the realm of the Ghostbusters universe, the characters were pretty good. Those that needed backstories mostly had them. So do I think this movie is worth seeing? If you liked Afterlife, you will probably like this movie. If you didn't like Afterlife, there's no reason to watch it. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on the new Ghostbusters movies? Do you like the sequels, or do you prefer the original 80s ones, hands down? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications, and I will catch up with you next time.